The Shadow King of Black Gold. Chief Arthur Eze, the entrepreneur who played the long game. In a continent where oil fortunes are often splashed across front pages, Chief Arthur Eze has always preferred the shadows to the spotlight, yet his influence in African oil and gas is as monstrous as any ExxonMobil or TotalEnergies footprint. Born on November 27, 1948 into a royal family in Ukpo, Anambra State, Nigeria, Eze's story is not the typical rags-to-riches tale. It is a masterclass in political navigation, strategic patience and unorthodox empire building. Series Introduction. It's Monday the 23rd of February 2026. Welcome to the 119th edition of The Entrepreneur. In this series we take a deep dive into the life and entrepreneurial journey of one of Africa's most prolific oil acreage owner and foremost oil and gas entrepreneur, Prince Arthur Eze. If you are visiting us for the first time, please subscribe, smash the like button, share this video and help us grow our family. If you have already subscribed, then show your support by liking the video and making a comment. Now let's jump right back in. From broadcast contracts to barrels of oil. Before crude, there were contracts. Fresh from California State University with a degree in mechanical and chemical engineering, Eze returned to Nigeria in the early 1980s not with pomp, but with an eye for opportunity. He won state broadcasting facility contracts from northern governors, simply by being effective, adaptable and unafraid to build bridges outside his region. These early wins were the first hints of a boardroom polymath who knew how to turn state relationships into economic capital. But the real turning point came in 1991 when Eze founded Atlas Petroleum International and soon after its sister company Oranto Petroleum. At a time when Western majors dominated Africa's upstream sector, Eze quietly secured oil blocks under Nigeria's sole risk policy. The jewel in the crown was OML 109, which produced its first oil in 1998 and has been the financial backbone underpinning Atlas Oranto's continental ambitions ever since. The long game, land bank before barrels. If most oilmen chase rigs, Arthur Eze chased maps. For most oil entrepreneurs, production equals success. For Eze, acreage was the game, and lots of it. Over 3 decades he stitched together an astonishing patchwork of licenses across Africa. At one point, Atlas Oranto reportedly held more than 20 licenses in over a dozen countries, from Nigeria and Equatorial Guinea to Liberia and Uganda, making it arguably Africa's largest privately held upstream portfolio. Long before resource nationalism, ESG mandates, and capital discipline became industry buzzwords, Arthur Eze was quietly building what insiders call a continental land bank, not drilling every acre, not trumpeting seismic surveys, but steadily accumulating exploration blocks across frontier African basins through Atlas Oranto Petroleum. It was a contrarian strategy. While the supermajors hunted immediate production and quarterly returns, Eze hunted optionality. Acreage as insurance policy. To understand the brilliance and controversy of the strategy, you must understand oil economics. Exploration acreage is like a call option on the future. Secure it early, secure it cheaply, and you hold leverage when geology, geopolitics, or commodity prices shift in your favor. Eze understood that Africa's underexplored sedimentary basins were undervalued in the 1990s and early 2000s. By entering early in countries others dismissed as too risky, politically volatile, infrastructure poor, or institutionally young, he positioned Atlas Oranto as a first mover. In boardroom terms, this wasn't wildcat gambling. It was portfolio theory applied to petroleum. Spread risk across multiple jurisdictions. Minimize overexposure to a single regime. Hold strategic positions until either the basin proves up, or a better capitalized partner arrives. It was patient capitalism in an impatient industry. The Frontier Gambit. Frontier basins are not for the faint-hearted. They demand stamina, political resilience and financial flexibility. Many independents collapsed under the weight of dry wells and unstable governments. Eze's approach was different. instead of over-leveraging to drill aggressively, he prioritized license acquisition and retention. That move gave him something more valuable than early production: negotiating power. When global energy majors sought entry into emerging African plays, Atlas Oranto often already held the paper. In effect, Eze had secured a seat at the table before the banquet began. Critics, capital and clock ticking. Of course, land banking in oil is not universally admired. Regulators increasingly demand performance, seismic work, drilling schedules, financial guarantees. Governments are less tolerant of acreage sitting idle. And here lies the tension: the very patience that built the empire now faces modern scrutiny. But here's the nuance often missed. Holding acreage is not idleness, it's strategy, provided you can weather the carrying costs and political tides. The oil industry is cyclical. Price collapses wipe out the overextended. Regulatory reforms reshape entire markets. The disciplined land banker survives downturns because he isn't betting everything on one well. Timing the tide. Eze's genius lies not just in acquiring licenses, but in reading timing. Commodity booms. Electoral cycles. Shifts in ministerial leadership. Global capital appetites. Oil, after all, is geology wrapped in politics. His long game reflects an understanding that barrels in the ground are only valuable when the environment above ground aligns, when capital is available, when partners are credible, when governments are stable enough to honor agreements. It is less drill baby drill and more position, wait, negotiate. The optionality doctrine. Strip away the mystique and what remains is a doctrine every energy professional should study. Control strategic assets early. Diversify political exposure. Preserve leverage. Monetize when conditions are optimal, not merely possible. In an industry addicted to short-term production metrics, Eze chose asset control over applause. And in frontier Africa, that long view, controversial, calculated, occasionally criticized, is precisely what allowed him to sit atop one of the continent's most expansive private upstream portfolios. Because sometimes, in oil as in chess, the most powerful move is not the loudest one, it's the quiet claim on the board that forces everyone else to play around you. Yet this strategy hasn't been without criticism. Governments and energy regulators increasingly demand that license holders drill wells and deliver production, not just hold acreage. Senegal recently revoked an offshore license over contractual technicalities and disputes about financial guarantees, highlighting that the old playbook of hold and wait may be under pressure in a tighter regulatory era. Middleman, monopolist, or mastermind? One lesser-told chapter of Eze's rise is how he became a trusted intermediary between African states and global energy giants. In Liberia, for example, after early deals in the 2000s that critics say saw blocks change hands for enormous profits, Eze circled back and secured 4 new offshore blocks through production-sharing contracts signed in Paris, a coup that underscores his blend of relationship capital and geopolitical savvy. Meanwhile, in Equatorial Guinea, a once fruitful partnership on the Aseng field was lost after disputes over financing commitments, a sober reminder that diplomacy in this space is not just about contacts, but also about delivering on promises and staying financially nimble. Boardroom playbook, diplomacy, patience, patriarchy. Arthur Eze's leadership style in the boardroom is unconventional, to say the least. Patience over pioneering, he often prefers to accumulate acreage, secure it, and then either develop it or monetize it when the market or partners are ready, a strategy that demands enormous endurance and political stability. Relationships over rivalry. Eze's network stretches from governors and military leaders to presidents and petroleum ministers, not by ostentation, but by careful cultivation over decades. Quiet influence. He shuns public commentary but is everywhere behind the scenes, attending high-level dinners, proffering strategic advice and supporting political causes, creating a soft power that rivals formal lobbying. Family and trust. A tight inner circle that includes family and a few trusted technical partners runs Atlas Oranto, a structure that accelerates decision-making but concentrates risk. Lessons from the Prince's Playbook. Whether you're an aspiring oil and gas professional or a young entrepreneur in any frontier market, Eze's journey offers powerful takeaways. Master your domain, but don't rush. Big wins often derive from long-term positions, not flash plays. Think acreage before barrels. Relationships are capital. Don't underestimate the value of trustworthy relationships in government, industry, and community. Be patient, not passive. Holding an asset is just the beginning. You still need to deliver tangible results when the moment arrives. Leverage diplomacy as strategy. In environments where politics and business are intertwined, diplomatic fluency is as important as technical competence. Adapt or expect scrutiny. The regulatory environment is shifting. Execution now matters as much as entitlements. In the end, Chief Arthur Eze's story is not just about oil. It's about how to navigate power, patience, and partnership on a continent where the rules are always evolving and success rarely goes to the swift. For those looking to carve a path in energy or any frontier industry, his roads, both beaten and unbeaten, are rich with insight. If you would like to know more, or wish to discuss brand sponsorship of any of our videos on entrepreneurship, please get in touch on any of the social media handles below. All our content is developed from real-life experiences in a professional and entrepreneurial journey that spans across 8 countries and 4 decades. Quote of the week. To do big things, you have to say no to a lot of average things. Anonymous.